Wakefield Wildcats Danny Kirmond, and when I'm not taking Snapchats, I listen to Rugby AM's Mad Monday.
There you go, Kirmond. Are you on Snapchat still?
I am, yeah.
You are a brave man.
Do you know what? It's all gone quiet for ages, and then, when we've been losing, no one's been too bothered, and then when we beat Widnes at weekend, it came back out, didn't it? I got a bit of stick off one of their fans and put a picture on.
Did they?
Yeah. So
it's going to haunt you forever. But I'll tell you what, right? You've got wonderfully massaged calves.
That's it, yeah. And as a professional, you've got to look after your calves.
Is that right, Clogger? As a professional, you've got to look after your calves in that manner?
Yeah, all the way down the leg. Yeah.
And is that the best technique, getting your lass naked to do it for you?
I've never been in that position personally. My wife don't like me enough.
Do you know it's not there in Kermo's missus naked with Clogger? He did admit he's never been in that position.
Yeah, he was massaging hers.
Yeah.
Never say never.
Well, just we've got the TV stuff coming up, and you're going to join us, Kirmond, and you're going to be our social media guru. We've already done the deal. Yep. 6-figure salary, Kyler Moore style.
Touche.
Are you missing Mara? Because you and Mara were like a bromance that were never to be ripped apart. Then obviously the titty copter came for you, Cool Cash came knocking, the club didn't sell you. How did that feel?
What, the first question or the second one?
We'll start off with the titty copter.
Yeah, I'm not too fussed about that, obviously.
Real answer, please.
Well, yeah.
Imagine sitting there now.
Smoking a big cigar.
On Salford Keys.
Not worrying
smoking
about,
a cigar.
about
stroking a racehorse in a gold coat. In Arabic slippers. Just getting weighted on hand and foot by Kukosh's crew. Imagine that.
It sounds nice, but our contracted Alex, so
Arabic
it were all just rumours.
Stroking your beard, combing your beard for you every morning, every night. Imagine that. Should have been on payroll.
Well, yeah, 12 wives would be nice, wouldn't it?
That's what I've heard at Salford.
Oh, hell, one way or another.
They've got beard strokers professional.
There's not many beards there, though, is there?
They've got that many staff. They've got professional beard strokers. It could have been you, Kermond. It could have been you.
It sounds good. It does sound good.
Yeah, are you missing Mara, though?
Yeah, I am missing Mara. It was great to have around the place. Always good for a laugh. I speak to him quite often still. He sends me an odd picture or video and things like that, and still get a laugh out of him. But, when money calls, you've got to go.
Sit in it, Clogger. What were your experience of Kyler Moore?
Well, first things first, he never speaks to me anymore. just sends me pictures of his paychecks, that's all.
Or his private yacht.
Yeah, he's a good laugh. Probably tightest person you'll ever meet, ever. In fact, not tight, mean. The man is mean. A little story about him is they tried to do a collection for a chef who were leaving the club, and all they asked for £1 for each person, and he wouldn't put a quid in.
Is this a true story?
Yep. Ran away. The man ran away, wouldn't put £1 in. He is as tight as cramp.
Has he still got the Citroen?
He has, yeah. Yeah. I heard rumours that he'd bought a new car, so I seen Paul Wellens today at the Magic Weekend launch, and I said, "Is it true Mara's got a new car?" Like, and he says, "No, we've had to bump him off 3 or 4 times in car park." But he's tweeting everyone for a good deal apparently. So if anyone can better an X-Reg Citroen Zara,
he loves that Citroen, man.
Burgundy. I've had Burgundy. Get in touch with Kyle Amon.
He'll be waiting for a good trading, a good trading for it. Alex Wams has got a nice new car. He's got a brand new A3. He must be on big doors as well. He got absolutely ended by Kafusi yesterday. Like when he first came on the show, he told us his story about it. I said, "What's the biggest hit you've ever taken?" And he said, "Oh, Antonio Kafusi, playing against London. I could see him following me across pitch. I could see him. He was out to get me." And he said he took one in and Kafusi just came out of nowhere and just absolutely smashed him. And it was like take 2 on Sunday. Did you see it?
Yeah, they had a bit of a thing going on after each other.
Straight away in game. As soon as Wamsley got ball, absolutely cleaned out. But I got him first because what I've been doing is, I know a few boys, and Mickey Iam's a good lad. I knew he was coming on the show. So before we played him last week, Warrington obviously got beat by Bradford. Before game, he was walking off, and I went up to him and went, Mickey, have a good game, mate. Put me hand down. Before he said that shit, I went, oh! All the fans loved it. Hey. And I got Walmsley this week, but I teed it up with a photographer. I teed it up with I said, hey, mate, couldn't do this to Walmsley. When I walk up, put my hand out, shake it, and I'll give you all see you later. And I said, try and get a picture of it. I swear to God, it's the best picture I've ever seen. Picture of me like that, that's walking away. Walmsley looking at me, hand out. But to be fair, as he came off the pitch yesterday, he got me, slapped me in the face, big mud slap, all down my face, on my coat. Cheers, all 1-0. So yeah, that's that. Well, game reviews there. How many have we got left? 6 more to do.
Yep.
I thought Jones is really good now. Keith, you've got a lot to live up to. Jones has got theme music. He's got samples in there. You told me you went to you got Welcome to the Jungle music in one of yours, and you were loving it.
I have, yes. Jonesy put the music on the other two.
Oh, right. So you've had a bit of help. Well, Keith, a bit of help.
No, he wanted me to send him to him, so I
right.
improvised and did the Welcome to the Jungle because it was a cast game.
Good work,
at
mate.
the Jungle. So I
it's not called the
improvised with
Jungle
that.
anymore, is it?
It's the Menderhose Jungle.
All right.
Mr. Smart Alec.
Menderhose.
Menderhose.
Menderhose. I've meant a few. I meant a few every time, Griff. Hose is in hose.
Widnes 18, Wakefield 24. Wakefield Wildcats' second win in as many weeks on the road signifies a mid-season burst of enthusiasm for Richard Agar's men. Wakefield seem to be the Widnes bogey team with a run of 6 wins out of 6 meetings against the Black and Whites, and despite much of the pressure coming from Widnes, Wakefield scored first against the grain when Jared Samet scooped up a loose pass from Kevin Brown to race 80 metres before offloading to a supporting Chris Riley to finish off the last 20. Richard Moore scored the second with another one of his unorthodox runs skirting across the Widnes line before straightening up as he reached the middle of the field, bursting through the Widnes defence and bouncing across the Widnes high pitch to touch down under the post. Samet added the two to give Wakefield a confident 12-0 lead, but the reason Widnes have won their last 3 games is because they are growing as a group, and they continue to grow in this game as Brown's clever cut-out passes first put over Hume to bring them within 6 points, then another fantastic ball from Brown to Flynn, who scored to bring them level going into the break. Hull scored a second as he regathered a Danny Craven kick with a ruthless Danny Tickle converting to put Widnes in front for the first time. A massively enthusiastic Wakefield fought on, and Harry Saker's converted try made the score level for a second time to set the scene for a thrilling end to the game. Mr Tickle missed a penalty attempt on 77 minutes and a drop goal not long after, and couldn't quite put a smile on the face of the Widnes fans. But it's often said in Rugby League that the team who wants it more invariably gets the win, and the spirited Wakefield scored a last-minute winner after Paul Sykes skimmed with Jared Samet, who was set to drop a goal and was chased by too many Widnes players. He dropped inside past the Sykes, who took advantage of the big hole left by the Widnes charge-down team, and he scored under the 6 to seal the game for Wakefield Trinity Wildcats.
Great win for the Wildcats, eh? If you turn my mic up here. Good lad. Great win for the Wildcats, Kirmond.
Yeah, really good win. That's the first time they've been beat at home this year, so we knew it was going to be a tough game, and it proved nothing different really. And yeah, Sykesy come up with a wonder try at the end.
But does it feel better winning at the last kick of the game?
Yeah,
right at the end.
After the game it does. Yeah, obviously during game you'd rather be 30 up rather than going into the last 5 and everyone missing drop goals like they were. But yeah, I think if anyone saw the celebration after the game, I think you can see the relief and also how much it meant to all boys.
How, when you win like that, you've obviously lost quite a few games, but do you feel confident? Do you still feel confident to like get through and get the win? Do you ever feel in your mind? Do you ever think, oh no, it's coming? I can feel it coming. The loss is coming. Or is it always a positive?
No, I think if anyone said that they're never worried, I think you'd be lying. I think when you're in good form and when you're winning games, you seem to be a lot more confident in your team's ability. But it's similar when you're on a losing run. You sometimes just, as much as you're trying your best all the time, you just think the ball's not going to bounce for us.
How do you cope with it? as a player, because obviously you're captain, you're the main man on that team. Do you think, right, we need to get the ball to... Who's your go-to guy? In a tight situation like that, when your back's against the wall and you need a win, who do you look for as a captain on your team to get the ball to make something happen for you? Is anyone in particular you think that guy is great under pressure?
I think in Super League, I think the majority of players are good under pressure, but I think if you're looking through a team for someone who's a bit of a dynamo, who's going to give you something that's, a bit of spark, something different to everyone else, I think we've got someone in our team who's perfect for that. Jazz, he does things that not many other people can do. He'll do a chip for himself. Or
he actually said after the game he'd tried everything to get him to lose.
Yeah, well,
he had a bad
game. He might have not had his best game at the weekend, but he still picked a ball up and raced 90 metres before giving it to Riley for a try. Just things like that.
How's Riley doing?
He's been really good for us, yeah.
How long is he staying for now?
Well, I'm not sure. I think that's between the clubs, really, but I think from my point of view, yeah, it'd be good
he's
to
really
keep him.
ginger.
We've got a few gingers this year, like...
Oh, yeah, who's the most?
Matty Ryan's really ginger. And pale with it as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Aussie, though.
Yeah,
Aussie ginger pale.
I know.
Bad combination.
And he's got a really dodgy hairdo. Have you
Has
seen
it?
his hair?
No, I ain't seen
He's
it.
got like the plaits that we're in. Well,
Oh, no.
He's got one at the
he's
front,
a white
though.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
And it's ginger. I'm a bit ginger, so I can say that.
Bet Scoops is looking at it with envy, isn't he, though? 'Cause Tom Burgess cut his off.
Yeah, Scroots, it tells us how he misses his Scroots, but he's not even allowed a beard, Scroots.
Is he not?
No, his
Alice
missus makes him cut it off all the time.
How bad would it be to work with your missus?
Well, she's his boss, really, isn't she? Yeah.
Is she? What does she do?
Well, she's like player welfare, so, she gives him promos and stuff like that.
Nicholas? Can you imagine?
Does she look after him though? Does she obviously divert the best promotions to him?
Well, a big signing like him, you'd think he'd be out there all the time this year, wouldn't you? But he's not had many, to be fair.
Has he not?
Yeah.
It must be you though, Skip.
No, I think he does night feeds. If he doesn't do any promos, he does night feeds with George. So
George is about 3. He does night feed. What are you on about?
Well, he gets up early with George then.
I saw the other day actually on Insta that he needed a rely-in after the game, and Big George had jumped in bed saying he wanted his dad. So he's got to do when you've got kids though. You'll understand.
Yeah, he's a legend, is George.
Oh, he's an absolute belter. Isn't he? He's a proper big Paul in the making, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be a big boy.
He's going to be a big one. Right, we're going to go to Aaron Jeremiah, Keefe.
Yeah, big news. Obviously,
You rate him?
Whoa. This is a little bit of a debate here. Hull have said that they're not renewing his contract for next year, so they're in theory releasing him. And then Widnes have come in for a big coup signing, announcing this big signing, and they've signed Aaron Jeremiah. So
would you call it a big signing? Widnes are building a steady squad.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though, isn't it? Obviously, Lee Radford at Hull says that he's not good enough for his future plans, but obviously Dennis Betts rates him a lot higher than what Lee Radford does. So, it just shows that your career can be dependent on somebody's opinion.
Where do you think I fit in?
Where that?
Anywhere. I'm taking offers anywhere right now. Got a future? What?
It depends what in.
I'm thinking prop, maybe. Second row.
Oh, as a player?
Sheffield?
There's not a cat in house chance. There's more chance of Clogger making a comeback, I think.
Wow. That's harsh. Clogger's about 6 years on me. Easy, maybe more.
6 years.
Being kind. I reckon I could do a job for Sheffield, Keith. I'd say now, he won't be getting beat by Fev if I weren't bitched. That's what I'm saying. Hashtag it.
The Salford of the Championship.
That's right.
The big spenders.
It looks like Lee running away with it though this year.
Yeah, they're the big spenders as well. Lee and Featherstone are hoping to get the top 2 positions. There's a big cash windfall for whoever finishes in the top 2.
Big uns.
So they'll be aiming for it.
Got away my son. Got away my. Right, we're going to go to Bradford versus Saints, the infamous Simmons Gate.
Ready. There's probably not that many teams in the whole world that are better than St Helens at playing fast and making metres. And when you see the stats for this game and the fact that Saints made twice as many metres as Bradford, it paints a picture as to why they won this game 50 points to 0. Bradford continued in their high spirits from the 2 wins in as many weeks previous, when Adam Henry's strong run almost resulted in an early try. But a Matt Dawson run on 11 minutes was a catalyst to the Saints' onslaught as John Wilkins scored the first of his 2 tries on the very next play. The try was converted by Walsh, and the Bulls, who were without the skills of Luke Gale and strength of Manasseh Manafakafoa, competed for 20 minutes before Lance O'Hire and Luke Walsh combined to send Walsh in for the Saints' second, which he then converted to put the Saints 12 points up. Walsh has been instrumental for the Saints this year and continued to serve the cause when his kick over was patted down by Makinson into the hands of Johnny Lomax to score the Saints' third, before Walsh then sent in John Wilkin for his second on the stroke of half time. Saints started the second half 22 points to 0 in front, and just 5 minutes in, Makinson scored his 14th try of the season. Swift would be the adjective used to describe the quick hands that allowed Adam Swift in at the opposite corner, and the floodgate stayed open as Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook, a rampant Sia Soliola, and an influential James Rugby, who was superior to anyone else on the field according to Nathan Brown, all scored tries to rack up a 50 points to 0 win at Odsal.
Well done, Ty. Great timing, son. Genius.
It's Jonesy again. He's left seconds on the countdown.
Jonesy said, if Simon wants to apologise, do it here when it's relevant. Sorry.
That's the apology.
That's it. That's all you get in Lancashire. Yorkshire. I'm joking. I've ordered a I Love Lancashire t-shirt, just so next time we're going to play them, I'll have my I Love Lancashire t-shirt and I'll get printed on the back, not. I'm joking. Again, it's just a banter. Oh dear.
Yeah, question for you both really. Saints had quite a difficult Easter period. Back on fire now though. They had a few setbacks over the Easter period. This is basically for you, Clogger, because obviously you're the conditioning side of things. How difficult is it, because you've got to get people back on the field, you've got to manage the conditioning side of things, because it is a very, very difficult period in such a hectic season as it is anywhere.
Yeah, we're constantly looking at workloads. Sports science has progressed year after year. So you're managing players really, recovery, ice baths, massage, low workloads, and luck. Yeah, every team needs a little bit of luck around Easter. And the physios, they're working overtime as well, constantly rushing on to players who are going down and trying to get
some
them
more
better
than others.
week after.
Do you take some great satisfaction? Obviously, in your game, you won in the last minute, so there was a bit of a war of attrition throughout that game. Did you look at the conditioning side of things and take some great satisfaction that your boys were still going powerful at the end of that game?
No, I was just relieved. I'd gone through all the emotions, anger, denial. No, just relieved. Really relieved for everybody, really. And I did celebrate, which I saw a video today. It made my skin crawl. But yeah,
they actually
really
got
happy.
video footage of him laughing and jumping up and cuddling someone.
Wow.
That is rare footage then, isn't it?
Poor form.
How much pressure are you actually on from the coach?
Wow. I've just felt a pain in my chest. I'm under scrutiny every week. We all are. We're all fighting for his jobs. That's the beauty of Super League this year.
Do you feel as though you're under just as much pressure as what the players are? So obviously, if they don't perform, they get gone. Obviously, it's down to conditioning and fitness and strength and condition and all that. So do you feel as though you are as scrutinised and as just as much pressure to get them players to perform from the coaches?
Well, on a selfish point of view, I think I'm under more. Because a player looks after himself, only thinks about himself, goes away from the club and thinks about himself. I've got 30 kids to look after. I go home, I wake up during it now shouting players' names.
Hello.
Fox! So, yeah. I feel like I'm under more pressure. I'm only 21. Look at me.
I'm going to carry on with the game reviews. Go to Leeds versus Cass at the Jungle for Key for your first one.
Ready.
And that's exactly what we were expecting at the Menderhose Jungle for the visit of the team at the top of the first Utility Super League, the Leeds Rhinos. For the Tigers, the visit of the Rhinos is one of the biggest games of the season, but with both teams in scintillating form, with the Rhinos at the top of the tree, Darryl Powell's Tigers looking for an impressive top 4 finish come the end of the season. We're expecting a cracker of a game. For the Rhinos, missing key playmakers Rob Burrow and Paul Ayton, so Chris Clarkson makes his second start as a makeshift hooker. Ryan Hall has been in immense form out with a back injury, so Ben Jones-Bishop comes in with Tom Briscoe moving out over to his usual left wing position. For the Tigers, they have ex-Rhinos Haraki, Tanzi and Gibson looking to impress. Influential half-back pairing of Liam Finn and Mark Sneed in great form. Captain Michael Shenton will be hoping to add to his 9 tries in 9 games. Start of the game didn't disappoint with the first 7 minutes played at a frantic pace, but first blood goes to the Tigers. The conditions weren't the best and a slippy ball and greasy surface because of the rain, but Tom Briscoe would not have been happy, making the first error coming out of yardage, giving the Tigers an ideal start point in the Rhinos' 20. Working the ball to the right-hand side of the Tigers' attack with a fast play of the ball from Jake Webster that allowed Adam Milner to recognise Briscoe out of position to make it an easy try for Kirk Dixon in the corner. Snead converting from a difficult conversion from the touchline. Castleford applying more pressure and a penalty given away by Achurch for holding down too long in a tackle allows Snead to increase the lead, 8-0 to the Tigers. On 17 minutes, the Rhinos take advantage of some sloppy condition with Danny Maggs putting a nice little grubber kick into the Tigers in goal with Dixon making a real hash of the attempted catch. The ball bouncing back into Maggs' hands for the free play, but a last gasp tackle from Jordan Tanzi resulted in a try being chalked off for a double movement. The Rhinos finally got on the score sheet on the 18th minute with some slick handling from the left-hand side of the field to the right, with Callum Watkins giving the final pass to his winger Ben Jones-Bishop. Someone needs to have a word with Justin Carney to tell him not to defend behind his own try line. Sinfield need not be outdone by his opposite kicker, also kicking the touchline conversion, 8-6 to the Tigers. Game starting to get into a nice little arm wrestle that we expected it to be. The Rhinos the neck to score on 30 minutes with Watkins, this time deciding to go for the line himself instead of giving the final pass, with some great strength to outdo 2 cast defenders. No mistakes with a touchline conversion again from the Rhinos, 8-12 to the Rhinos. With 3 minutes of the half to go, Liam Sutcliffe gets caught in possession on the last tackle to allow the Tigers to mount some pressure in a great position just before half-time. Finn, from the resulting play of the ball, shoots out a ball to the left-hand side of the ruck, and Watkins turns from hero to villain, shooting out of the line to pressure Snead, who steps inside Watkins and Hardacre to give the Tigers the advantage going into the half-time break. Half-time 14 Castleford, 12 the Leeds Rhinos. Fight on. Ben Jones-Bishop scored his second try of the game. That's 7 tries in 6 games for the Rhinos winger. A great kick from Maguire, and Hardacre showed more urgency to catch the ball with 3 cast players around him to get the ball out to Watkins, and a simple pass to Bishop to cross the line. Sinfield missing the conversion, 14-6 to the Rhinos. The Rhinos starting to make the most of some slopping handling errors from the Tigers. This time Sutcliffe makes a great break and provides a pass to the supporting Watkins, who does exceptionally well to keep the ball carrying arm off the ground. Despite the attentions of Snead, to score the try on the second of the game, Sinfield makes no mistakes with the conversion this time to make it 14-12 to the Rhinos. Defence was the key from both sides in the last 30. Some bone-crunching tackles, first from Grant Millington, who put Carl Ablett right on his backside. But the best shot came from Kylie Luluai, who got stuck into Millington's ribs, and the cast forward looking the worse for wear when he had to go off in a few minutes later. Special mention to the front rows, both putting in some hard drives and big shots, and JP doing the full 80 minutes. Final score at the Menderhose Jungle, Castleford Tigers 14, Leeds Rhinos 22.
Can we start talking again now? Keith, why are you putting on such a silly voice for your game review?
That's the mic voice, is that?
Is that your mic voice?
You always sound different when you're coming across the radio.
I know.
Should listen to you.
Oh, mate, I'm awesome. I listen to myself back all the time. I love it.
You do love the sound of your own voice, don't you?
It.
That's the problem.
Mate, sometimes I listen. I finish the radio, then listen to myself back. I was just literally straight
And that's the
away.
thing. You're not joking neither, are you?
No, I swear to God, some days it's all day. Right, we've had some tweets in from.
We'll talk about news. Ben Jones-Bishop.
What about him?
going at the end of the season. He's turned down a contract that Leeds have offered
No
him, so
way.
he's going to be up for grabs.
No way, honestly.
Salford. Marwan Kukash has been out there tweeting that Salford are massively interested, even though they've already signed Kevin Locke, who's the fullback from the Warriors. So,
Why would you want him to play at wing?
Well, that must be the idea.
See you later, Danny Williams.
He's he's naturally a fullback. Where do you boys think he would end up? Would you be hoping to get him at the mighty Wakefield?
I think Kirmond would have to leave.
Would that be a bad thing?
As long as they left me his BM, it's free to go. Yeah, any side would love him. Certain that we would. Plain and simple.
We've had a few tweets, Clogger. Liam K, who's a great friend of the show, one of my proteges, DJ-wise, he said, "How I've missed Clogger." What's Liam K like as a young lad? Is he good? Because he always, I'll tell you what, right, Liam, out of all the boys I know, right, I know a lot of rugby league players, but not very few talk themselves up as much as Liam K. He really does rate himself on the field and off the field.
Yeah, he definitely rates himself. Liam is a good lad. He struggled to put a bit of weight on, so I think Clogger gave him a new diet and he's killing it after then.
Did you give him the Lee Smith diet?
Wow. What's Lee Smith like to have strength and conditioning?
Yeah, he's a good kid, yeah.
What's it?
It depends what mood Lee's in for training. Really good. And, yeah, it's like a yo-yo, up and down.
I've got a question for you here from one of the fans, Ryan Hulkin. He says, what does Martin see as most important, mental toughness or peak physical fitness? Good question.
Yeah, I think they come hand in hand. If your team's trained well, trained hard, you can build mental toughness. I think it's a scientific fact that if you take players to the dark place, train them hard, they become mentally tougher.
Got a quick question as well for you, Kermo. Pete Emmett says, ask Danny about his DIY when he ripped the wrong door off his caravan and put it on the log burner by accident.
Is he not in Manchester getting lifted up, FA Cup head?
Oh, Pete Emmett. I bet, Pete, I'm just, you know what, I had a tough day yesterday, but I bet you had a worse day, Halifax versus North Wales Crusaders. That must have been a tough one in that lounge afterwards, mate. We'll have to get him back on the show, so he's funny, Nicky.
He is. First time I come across him, we were doing a This Is Your Life at the local pub for my uncle, and yeah, I've been pretty good friends ever since then. He's a funny guy.
Charleston's finest, that's what he calls you.
Well, I hate seeing him because, especially if it's on a rugby do, like he did Super League's best goal for last year, and I think he gets a bit nervous.
You come second to Gailey, didn't you?
Yeah. And he looked a bit intimidated by a few players, so basically, instead of hammering anyone else, he just hammered me for an hour, which...
Standard.
Clogger, Jamie Langley says, ask Clogger how he broke his stick one day playing a pool session.
Anybody who knows Ian Henderson, he's a right little grub. Same again, lovely chap. But a grub. He loves winding people up, and he could press my buttons. One day we were doing a pool session, and he just kept constantly getting in and out at pool and bombing me. And I used to walk around with a big wooden stick outside. Anyway, I caught him out at the corner of my eye about to bomb me, and I just spun round and whacked stick over the top of his head, broke it in half. He didn't bomb me again.
He bombed him. Right, we're going to carry on with game reviews, Tyre, because Tyre's having a little kitten in the corner. OKR versus Salford.
Ready.
After a 4-match losing run, will the Red Devils finally have something to celebrate, as well as Adrian Morley's 37th birthday? Hokie are hoping to fly their way into the top 8 and prevent the Devils from clawing back some vital ground. The Robins performing the best in a dominant scoreless first quarter, with former Salford winger David Hodgson bombing the best opportunity, fluffing a pass from Chris Wellen with a line at his mercy. but it was the Red Devils who notched the first points on the board, totally out of the blue, with Rangi Chase throwing out a long pass to the unmarked Francis Melly for an easy try in the corner. 4 minutes later, the scores were level with KR's half-back pairing, Burns and Keating combining to get Wallum over the whitewash to level the scores up. The Robins were starting to grow with confidence, none so more than the half-back pairing, and thoroughly deserved the lead with a testing kick from Burns, and the wet conditions making it hard for Mulaney to handle and fumble the gift try for Kevin Leroy to take full advantage. Burns this time making no mistake with a conversion to give the Robins a lead going into the half-time break. Salford Red Devils 4, OKR 10. Fight on! Salford starting the second half with a superb 40-20 from Chase, and with the pressure mounting, a superb run from Junior Sal paved the way for Melly's second try of the game. Mulaney levelled the scores up with a touchline conversion. KR's turned to regain the lead with Neville Costigan the fastest to react to Burns' kick through for his side's third try of the game. Again, with the game still in the balance, Martin Gleeson followed up a Chase's high kick to score, and Mulaney levelled the game up yet again. With the game level and both teams desperate for a win, Benker Kane fumbled a drop goal attempt, and Chase hitting the woodwork on his attempt to steal the win. But in the last minute it was down to Gareth Hock to burst through, but the chance went begging for the game to finish and share the spoils. Salford Red Devils 16, OKR 16.
Back, like Tupac. Kukash, again this week. Kevin Locke, big signing. Massive. Must be on mega money for next season. I was going to get that in through the old salary cap. Keefe.
All speculation. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
I wonder if Kevin Locke's lass is working in club shop at 200 grand a year. What do you reckon, Clogger?
Same again. I wish he played for Wakefield. So good luck to him if they can get him in.
Kirmond, are you looking forward to playing against Kevin Locke? We'll be asking for his autograph after the game.
Yeah, I might do. Yeah, it should be good to play against him. Obviously, it's good for our competition to attract these stars.
Great for the game to get someone like that in away from Australia, because he's one of the best players in Australia. Not better than Tompkins in Matt Elliott's opinion, but I just can't believe letting him go. New Zealand Warriors, they've been on fire though. Did you watch much NRL?
On odd occasion, we do a bit of a tipping competition at Wakefield.
I hope that's not betting.
No, just friendly, couple of quid each, and losers have to pay everyone for a dinner at end of season.
Good work. Clogger, do you watch NRL?
No. I devote my time to family when I'm at home.
Keefe, you not much NRL recently?
I don't watch the NRL.
Must be just me then. Loving the Aussies. London versus Huddersfield. You ready, Tyre?
Ready. London 16, Huddersfield 30. When conditions are as wet as they were in this game, you have to rely on the simple plays to come up with the goods, and it was Sean Nunt who come up with the simplest of them, scrambling over from dummy half to open the scoring for Huddersfield after 6 minutes. For long periods, Joe Grimmer's men looked like a revitalised group, and an experienced Scott Moore's break gave the opportunity for a Talavea to score and bring London right back into the game. Huddersfield came back with the strength of a Kumatai when he scored the first of his 2 tries on the 25th minute to edge Huddersfield back in front. But on loan Leeds lad Alec Foster scored not long after, before Dennis Solomona, who had some special involvements in this game, scored again. Drinkwater had failed to convert the last 2 tries, but banged over a penalty goal just before half time to send the Londoners in the sheds, 16-10 up at half time. Fight on! It would have been interesting to have been a fly on the wall in the Huddersfield sheds, though the fly may not have survived, given there's a chance that Paul Anderson may have burnt the paint off the walls, given the way Huddersfield responded to the start of the second half with a Mulally try in the first set of the second half. Not long after, a short pass from Bruff sent Akumatai in for a second, and it was a Kuna Matata for the Giants fans as the worry started to dissipate. The rain came down and increased the error count and reduced the opportunity count, and in the process Danny Bruff turned the Huddersfield penalty to 2 points before kicking through in the final seconds of the game to allow Leroy Kudrow to score and wrap up proceedings with a 30-16 win for the Giants.
Right, just suck it. We're having a bit of beard banter in behind that game. Good review from Jonesy. Jonesy's like so much better than Keith, wouldn't you say so, Ty?
can do them every week. You can spend the 5 hours doing them.
I love how you put the
I'll
wind
do
up.
I'll do what Tyre does. Sorry, what
Jew Dog
does.
Nothing.
Correct.
But you said your beard's come back, Kirmond. And it has definitely come back more ginger than before, without a doubt. Keith, would you say this is more ginger beard?
I didn't realise that he'd shaved it.
What possessed you to shave it?
It must have grown back within 2 days.
I was just trimming it, sprucing it up a little bit, and took a massive chunk out of it, and I just couldn't fix it back up.
How would you feel now if Us Three pinned you down and shaved your beard off?
I would be devastated.
But it'd be back in 3 days.
Yeah.
It has grown back quite quick though, yeah. I think
It looks great, mate. Is it for life now?
it's a keeper, I think, yeah.
For life?
Yeah. I'm getting married in October though, and my missus is like, oh, can you really keep that for wedding?
You
but
can't
it's
keep
me
that for
now,
wedding.
innit?
Yeah, but you can't, mate. You look scruffy, mate. You can't keep that for wedding. Not going to lie to you. You can't get married. Because when beards are out of fashion in like a year, and it's not cool. Because all beards are, they're making dweeby guys look half man. You know what I mean? You see these dweeby geeky guys, no offence, Josh, but
I don't think even a beard would make him look like a man.
no, but it's like these dweeby guys who grow a beard and all of a sudden they're cool. They get a sleeve tattoo. You haven't gone for a sleeve yet, but they get a sleeve tattoo and all of a sudden they get a beard and oh, look at me, I'm cool now. So in a year's time, it'll be something else. You know what I mean?
I think that's the thing, especially like cities like Leeds. They kind of go through stages, don't they? Like the little ponytail, we're in for a bit, then now it's the beard. Wonder what'll be next.
Well, when I used to run Nightclub Habit, people used to get star tattoos. You know, like a few stars together.
Yeah, Kev Brown's got a few stars, yeah.
And now I look at him and I think, oh, you bells. When people were doing it, I thought, you're going to really regret that in a few years when they're not cool. Oh, no, but it's who I am. It's what I mean. Like, what does a star mean to you, you idiot? You know what I mean? And now, these kids now, like I see these 18-year-olds in clubs, and they get like 4 bird silhouettes in a little pattern on the shoulder. And I'm like, just like stars. In a few years, you're going to regret getting 4 birds. People are going to go to you, what's that dirty mark on your shoulder? When you have kids, or them big massive smudges on your belly. No, I also knew a bird, right, who got a bee tattoo. A little bee tattoo on her belly. She had a kid, it was like a out-shaped whale. It was scandalous.
Clogger's got a nice tattoo.
Clogger, what's your tattoo? Talking tattoos.
A bee.
Oh, really? Oh, don't
Well,
kids
it would have been 30 years ago. It's a B now.
Right. Why did you get a B?
I'd had plenty to drink and it just seemed a good idea at the time.
Oh, me and you've got the same tattoo as well, haven't we? On our ass. Hashtag MAGA12. Or
No. I've
What's
got
your-
MC4L.
What's that?
I can't really say.
Yeah, you can.
Well, the group of us went to MAGA, and it means mad for life.
Ah, right, yeah. I've got hashtag MAGA12 for Chev Stagdo.
You've got to get a MAGA tat, haven't you?
You've got to get a MAGA tat. If you've got a MAGA, got to get
Costs
tanked
50
up.
quid as well.
Yeah, man, costs like 50 quid. Bailey got love and hate on his eyelids, and it looks like Love Kate. And we're like, who's Kate? And he's like, no, love hate. Love hate, like Bills. It looks like Love Kate, mate. Who's Kate? Right, last game, last but not least.
After last week's shock defeat to the Bradford Bulls, Tony Smith will be after a vast improvement from his inconsistent Warrington team. Whereas the Catalan Dragons coach Laurent Fresinu will be hoping his team can recreate some of the wonderful form they have been producing at home on the road here at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. Straight from the Dragons kick-off, Anthony England dropped the ball, giving the Dragons a great position to mount some pressure on the Wolves line, giving you the thought that it could be one of them days for the Warrington team. It was an error-strewn first 15 minutes, then some great play from Leon Price provided the pass to winger Mike Oldfield, who tried his best to do a spectacular dive to stay in the field of play, but the video referee saying he had put a leg over the touchline to be denied the try. From the resulting scrum, Warrington turned up the heat with a great play from Stephen Ratchford to make the break, then a nice little kick for Gene Ormsby to chase. Then in the resulting play of the ball, Michael Monaghan recognised the Dragons were down on numbers on the short side with some good fast passing from Bridge to Joel Monaghan to get an easy score in the right corner, making that an incredible 100 tries in 100 appearances. It didn't take the Wolves long to get on the scoreboard again with some sloppy play from the Dragons to get caught on the last play in possession, then throwing a loose ball for the retreating England to clean up. Then 3 plays later, Hyam tries a little scoop from the dummy half, then realised he had nowhere to go before passing the ball to an offside Catalan player to bounce off his body for England to scoop up the loose ball for the easiest of tries. No mistakes from Bridge, 12-0 to the Wolves. 20 minutes into the game and England made exactly the same error from the kick-off, so there will be some extra handling practice for him in training this week. On the half hour, a great offload from the impressive Chris Hill, who has been a standout performer in such a disappointing season for the Wolves so far. He found Matty Russell, the fullback, who gave a lovely flick pass to Ormsby, who passed on to the supporting Joel Monaghan to add to his already impressive try tally. Bridge again making no mistakes from in front of the posts. The Wolves then capitalising on some sloppy handling for the Dragons, for Ratchford to score with a nice turn of pace and strength to barge over to put the team into a demanding half-time lead, with Bridge successful on all 4 occasions. Warrington Wolves 24, Catalan Dragon 0 at half-time. Fight on! From the first set in the second half, things seemed to get worse for the Dragons, with a kick from William Barthor charged down. James Laithwaite showing urgency to pick up the loose ball to feed Bridge to go 40 metres to score under the posts. Mickey Hyam is the next to benefit from some great forward play with a simple tip-on pass from Ben Evans to the supporting Hill to bust through the Dragons' defence, and a nice pass back on the inside to Hyam for a simple score for the hooker. Bridge again made no mistakes, 36-0. Laithwaite is the next player to benefit from some weak, sloppy defence to score his first try in Super League. Straight from a tap from Hyam, 3 metres out to bundle his way over between a weak effort from Morgan Escaré and Louis Anderson. Finally, the Dragons have something to cheer about with a great try from Vincent Duport, and all I have to say is Iron Palm on Ormsby to put him on his backside. Barthor is successful with a touchline conversion to make it 42-6. Final save of the game goes to Escaré, with again some sloppy play and loose handling from the Dragons, but when the ball finally ends up in Escaré's hands, he puts in a lovely kick into the Wolves in-goal area and grounds the ball spectacularly one-handed to score the final try of the game. Final score, Warrington Wolves 42, Catalan Dragons 10.
Pretentious start with music. Back on. They sound very pretentious with music sometimes. Not like you, Kirmond, by the sounds of things.
I've got an eclectic taste, that's all I like to say.
Oh, crap.
Oh, yeah. Depends what you like.
It's funny because you said that you don't listen to any music before rugby. You just one of those guys, rocks in, rocks out.
I just like to walk around and, soak the atmosphere up, have a bit of banter.
How do you, as a captain, how do you get the boys going before the game?
It's hard, really. I try to just lead a bit by what I do, but
have a ginger beard.
Yeah.
Look at my ginger beard, boys.
Obviously, got to try and get them up a bit, give them a bit of talk and stuff like that, and then just make sure that everyone's doing the job, especially in warm-up and building up to the game. Really.
Right, what we're going to do, we're going to pretend now. Put your arm around each other. Put your arm around the boys. Put your arm around Clogger. Put your arm around Clogger, Keith. Keith, put your arm around Clogger. Put your arm around Clogger. Don't worry, it's not a Paul McShane thing.
You give us your
No. You're gonna give us a skipper's team talk now. What you do on the pitch. Get us going for the show. I want you to do it. I want you to imagine we're just gonna run out. We're playing Leeds. It's at the Wildcat Stadium. I'm propping. Keith's returning from centre. Clogger's on the wing. Right. Give us a chance. Go on, Skip. Big words.
Come on, Simo. The main go forward man today.
It's
JP. It's JP. I want to see you put him on his...
JP's mine, son. I'm there for you, Skip.
Keith, you've still got that speed. I know your knees aren't what they used to be, but come on. Clogger, keep running that water on cock.
Great team talk, Skip. Fired up now. JP's mine. Smash him. Ah, dear. What do you reckon, Tyre?
I think you're going to win.
Winners are grinners. That's right, Clogger.
I'm ready to go.
Right, let's play Kirmond's song because we're all fired up, ready to go now.